Hello, this is Bryony.
Hello.
And I'm Ian, and today we're going to show you the best way of pitching your endurance altitude tent. So first of all, taking out all the components out of the bag. One thing we would recommend is if you take the tent bag, the pole bag and the peg bag, they quite easily get blown away in the wind. So if you take them and first of all tuck them into a pocket, like your rucksack pocket, for example. Okay, so now we're going to unroll the fabric. Now clipping together the poles. On the altitude tent, there are 2 grey poles and 1 orange pole. The purpose of this is so that it indicates which pole sleeve to insert which pole. And on the pole sleeves, you'll see here this colour-coded tab. You have an orange tab and a grey tab. Now these correspond with the coloured poles, making it really simple for you. The next really important to notice about endurance tents is that they have an open end of the pole sleeve and a closed end. Here's the open end, and on the other end is a closed pole socket. Now you need to insert the poles like this into the open end. So working together as a team, you can help push the pole through the sleeve into the closed socket at the other end. Now you have all the poles loosely laid out in the tent. Each take a pole and push the tent into an arch shape. And clip this end of the pole into this metal eyelet here. Great, so your next question is, whereabouts on the campsite do you want your tent? So with the altitude, you can pick it up and you can pop it down where you're going to pitch for the night. Next thing, you can peg round. We'd recommend doing all the corners first. One little tip for when you peg out the tent is insert the pegs at a 45-degree angle, so the peg is leaning away from the tent. This gives the strongest anchor point. There are also guy lines on the tent if the conditions need it. So as you can see, today we pitched the tent with the inner already attached to the outer. So here's your inner tent. This is the quickest and simplest way of pitching your tent. Okay, so now we're going to give you a few quick tips on how to take your tent back down. Firstly, decide how you're going to carry the tent across your team. There are 2 ways in which you can carry your tent. Either you can leave the inner and outer all clipped together, or you can separate them. We would recommend you check with your group leader as to what's most appropriate. If you do decide to separate the inner from the outer, you can detach it with these connecting toggles here. Just unclip them like this. Then do up the zips on your tent, but we would recommend that on the inner tent, you leave a small section of the door open. This means that the air can escape from the tent when you're rolling it up later. Here's an easy way to roll the guy line away. Just fold it loosely around your hand and slip the whole guy line into this handy little storage pocket that you'll find on all endurance tents. Okay, so now we're going to take all the poles out. One important point with taking the poles out is to push the poles out of the sleeve. Don't pull from that end, push from this end. Now to fold up the fabric. This is the easiest way. First bring in the porch, folding that right over the rest of the tent. Now you have the rectangle shape of the original ground sheet. Recommend folding this into 4 like this. And once you've squashed all the air out, you can take the pole bag with the poles in and roll the tent around the poles as tightly as possible. And then the pegs in the top. You're done.
Thanks, and we wish you the best in your expeditions. If you have any questions about our endurance products, please email us at sales@accesskit.co.uk or call us on 0800 310 1412.